All right. I think I'm live. Hello, JR. How are you? Same page, dude. Anyway, I have a couple things to share. Actually, got a notification. Actually, while Billy was streaming, his pretty awesome self-care, self-love stream. But this totally ties into exactly what I've had on my laptop for quite a few days. I've been meaning to share, but Texas A&M University system to examine DEI office and programs amid state ban. Exactly. They're getting to a point where they're examining it now. So, just to catch everybody up, Governor Abbott, after DeSantis in Florida started, attacking these, Abbott started doing stuff about it here in Texas because I think Dan Patrick, one of our attorney generals, made it his primary focus to get these fucking out. Like, these guys realize how racist and sexist and illegal these policies are, and so they're doing the law stuff to get it banned. Now, everybody knows, culture's generated at the university level, and politics is downstream of culture. So, this is getting yeeted, or whatever you want to call it, out of the universities. So it's going to take a while for culture to catch up. It's going to take a while for all these corporations to catch up. But this is big. And actually, I'm pretty fucking disappointed with Texas A&M because you know what? They were the last ones in Texas to start addressing these policies. Like all the other universities after Governor Abbott, dictated that, these things were going to be banned. All the other universities got on board before Texas A&M University did, which thoroughly disappointed me because I thought the Aggies would lead this because they were the last university to even adopt these stupid fucking policies. Like in the past decade that I've been living in this community, like I've watched a seriously quick fucking shift happen at my local university. So, but yeah, they're looking into it. Let's see, College Station. A bill signed into law during the legislative session will ban diversity, equity, and inclusion offices along with training programs across all public state colleges and universities. The Texas A&M University system has already launched a system-wide ethics and compliance review of its programs. You know why? Because Texas A&M is literally getting sued right as we speak by a professor from UT in Austin, because one of the programs that they put out to hire new professors literally stated, now this was before it was literally stated, it was kind of an unspoken truth. Like, along with everywhere else that there's feminists literally fucking employed, they've been actively trying to replace straight white men with all these fucking diversity hires, with all these women, with all these fucking gay people. If they can get their hands on a trans, oh my God, they'll fucking fast track them into positions of power and authority. But Texas A&M really screwed up because they literally printed that white and Asian men need not apply for this position that they were putting out. So they seriously, on paper, broke the law, and they are going to get their asses sued for it. But this is so fucked up. Hello, everybody, by the way. Gone with John Braxton, good to see you. JR, Billy, Sam Fisher, hello. Freebird, hello. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys, though, an actual picture. Because I know I've been talking about this for, I don't know, fucking almost 3 years, it feels like. The exact fucking crazy bitches that are behind all this shit. I know everybody in society wants to fight their side against the other side, left versus right, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's crazy bitch feminists against the sane people of our society. And guess what? The whole left versus right debate is fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. Because guess what? There's literally crazy bitch feminists on both sides. Yes, on the left, there are more. I get it. But the ones on the right are just, I think, a little more, what do you call it? They're there because they support the same fucking sisterhood. That's what a lot of guys, I don't think, fucking understand. I had a conversation earlier with somebody who thought for some fucking reason in a corporation that a black woman would ever fucking side with him over a Latina feminist on the same fucking level as this straight white man. Like, how ignorant does one have to be of crazy bitchery to even think that a woman would betray the sisterhood, especially being a black woman? Like, they are so fucking low on the totem pole, they kiss the asses of all the other women. Okay, they're going to be the dancing monkeys. They will throw anybody under the bus to fucking, if it will gain brownie points with the other sisters. Like, these crazy bitches are so insecure within themselves. They rely on the group identity of feminism, right? I mean, they have their black identity, of course, but the bigger group is women, feminists. So that's who they will want to please over anybody else. And they will not risk being ostracized from the pack. I tried to explain the best I could to somebody who's completely fucking oblivious to what's really going on in our society. Like a pack of hyenas. I know the guys in the chat. Hey, Johnny Midnight. Hey, Outlaw. Good to see you. And I know you guys know. Like, I feel like this is common knowledge among y'all. But for what Bullets would call the normies, they really fucking have no clue. But this is the Female Quotient, a feminist channel that I try to bring light to at every chance I get, because this is a big network of fucking feminists. And these crazy bitches are spearheading all this bullshit. All this LGBTQ shit, all the things that the people, sane people, conservative people in our society are against. Yeah. This channel is the hub for all of it. Because these crazy bitches literally are a network of, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of feminists along 167 countries. Like, this is the root right here. And I know a lot of men want to blame other men, George Soros and all these other men, that these crazy bitches are very successful at extracting resources from. They want to blame all these men, but I think this is going to be the last time I fucking tell people, because I, after a while, get tired of repeating myself. But I'm going to show you what they say, what they're doing. Oh, so this crazy bitch in the red, apparently she's responsible for body positivity, changing Barbie. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to kids' toys, but anybody who has kids and pays attention to kids' toys, I'm sure will notice the evolution or the devolution. of Barbie. So. Huh. What? Finland. Oh, yeah. Found the, we need to go into that, I think, one night, Johnny. Things are interesting there. I don't know. Apparently there's this big fuss in the Houston locations. Apparently they're getting rid of district manager and below and replacing all the leadership. So I have a feeling it has to do with diversity, inclusion, equity. I would hate to think one feminist or a group of these crazy bitches had anything to do with that, because I know that's true for my location. There is a feminist right now in a managerial position that is literally gunning for all the straight white men in her equal position. So, and I so want to take her out, but some other people are trying to work on some things, some dudes. I'm like, I don't know. I get impatient. Right? Oh my god, the rainbow bangs. Kush. She literally had rainbow bangs. I had to restrain myself, for sure. I was looking. See, I wanted to do some social experiments while we were there, Kush. I wanted to ask a conservative woman, because I've asked many in my community, but you know, this is Houston. It's a little more liberal. I was going to try to find a conservative liberal there and ask them if they think a 3-time pregnant, out of wedlock, fucking government dependent, single mother that lives with her fucking parents could ever have any business calling herself a conservative. Because around here, like, those are two main things. Dependent on the government, you literally suck off the tit of the government, you're not a fucking conservative. 2, you have children out of wedlock. Mind you, this crazy bitch that wears a grill and runs her fucking crazy ass mouth has had 3 illegitimate pregnancies and still has the guts, the breast obstacles to call herself a fucking conservative. I think she's fucking retarded. And I think her mental disability should land herself in a fucking asylum and be locked up. Because I really have no hope for her 2 son husbands that she's currently raising. So those little bastards are going to be a problem for society to deal with later. So, sorry, I digress. I'm going to show you guys these crazy bitches, though. These are the crazy bitches that literally control everything everywhere. And they're going to tell you exactly how they do it. So if people don't fucking pay attention from here on out, I can't help you. If you want to stay in your little echo chambers where you blame men for shit, be my guest. I'm just not going to fucking listen to any of them anymore.
I care about women's issues in particular, obviously, because I have that lived experience, but it's always been a lane of history and activism that I've been drawn to. And then I was always interested in civil discourse and how do we actually change systems. It's just interesting that I applied this more to branding and marketing and advertising. So long story short, just to wrap this up, in this 30-year career, I started as a playwright and educator. And then I was tapped on the shoulder by Dove in 2003 as we were beginning to build the Campaign for Real Beauty. And they brought me in as an internal advisor and expert. And then I became an external spokesperson and creator of our self-esteem curriculum that's now been deployed to 60 million girls worldwide. And so Campaign for Real Beauty was the first one. And then I'm a part of the team that helped to change Barbie's body in 2016. And so we come in and we shake. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
All right, we shake shit up from the inside out. So our
Mhm.
whole methodology is to come in now to businesses, and I remember that 12-year-old me. That's like, I ask a
That
lot
was
of
fat,
why.
I'm
Why are we
sure.
doing it this way? Why don't I see that person? How, so anyway, we do a lot of change making from the inside out.
Okay, so I am a child of the 80s as well.
Yeah.
So yes to commercials, and also did not see myself as well. So just
Yes.
appreciate the work you're doing. My daughters have also played with the Barbies that you have, helped to champion and change the body image of. I'd love to know just a little bit more. And you mentioned civics.
Yes.
I believe that every space is a civic
Missing.
space. So yes, you're in marketing. Yes, you're changing the
Yep.
landscape. What has been some of the more exciting and surprising things that you've seen in doing this work? Because, girl, I told you we're having a
Ooh,
conversation. We're
I
not
know.
really going on the questions.
No, that's okay. I want to have
Okay.
you, and yes, I want to have this conversation. So, what I will tell you is that one of the blessings and the burdens of making up a career as you go along, right? There's the blessing of being in the rooms
Mhm.
that it takes some people 20 or 30 years of their career to get into. I get to enter, to be very candid, at a pretty high level of power and privilege inside of organizations, right? We're being
She gets to enter within 20 years. And you know what's so funny about all of this? No, these women paved the way. So, because they've done all this activism and the tyrannical matriarchy is kind of in charge, that pretty much opens every fucking door to me, too. Because guess what? I'm a woman. So, they did all the hard work that I can just come in right after them and easily fucking undo. Just saying.
brought in as specialists, as subject matter experts. So I get access to decision makers. And so the blessing of that, what I've been excited about, is the access to ask the questions to the people who make the decisions
Yep.
and to understand what's standing in their way, right? The burden of that is watching how much systemic bullshit still stands in our way inside of places that might have great marketing campaigns, but don't have a good company culture to back it up.
So, to actually womansplain or mansplain, to bring all the words down to a simple point, she isn't happy. She still, has patriarchy to dismantle. So there's so much systemic bullshit, as she calls it, that's getting in her way. So that's actually a good sign. She's still receiving pushback. GM, men became so submissive to government, all women could do is follow suit, and along came feminism. See, I don't know. Sam, you know what? After this, I've been going down some rabbit holes lately. Some old TV stuff. From the 50s. Before feminism really started overtaking the universities. I know that for sure. It was early 60s when, what, was it 1963 when we actually started seeing a decline in the birth rate? When we fell below replacement. But, hello, Primo. Good to see you. But yeah, so these were commercials in the 50s, or not commercials, I guess television programming, documentary type stuff. I've been watching quite a few of them. They just popped up in my algorithms, so thank you, algorithm gods, for being so generous. Yeah, it's interesting how they're literally fucking talking about in the 50s what I've been saying for 2 years. Exactly. Like, beware of this thing that I'm like, oh, it's this thing that's ruining society. So I think I'll go over some of that. Because there's a really interesting one about how lesbians initiate other lesbians. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but the typing at the end was super fucking interesting. It just summed it up. Pretty much that lesbians fucking indoctrinate and mind rape other women into their fucking death cult because of their own little sexual urges. So, I have to check that out. So yeah, are we done with these crazy bitches yet? Yeah, the title, Authenticity Inside and Out. Yet they're fucking puppets. And you know what? Look at this. Women hold the majority of CMO roles. Can this last? Do you know what a CMO is? A CMO is the crazy bitch who thought it would be great to get Dylan Mulvaney to come into Budweiser and advertise. It's the chief of marketing. And yes, women hold the majority of those roles. See, they're pointing out exactly who to be mad at. But yet when I see content on Budweiser and this and that, everybody's like, oh, it's the left, instead of, oh, it's fucking feminists. It's women. It's crazy, fucking mentally ill women who are doing this. I'm going to play that a little bit, because I didn't see it. Women hold the majority of CMO roles. Can this last? And of course, it's a fucking group of well, no, she's fat too. They're all fucking fat. Why are they all fat? You know these 1950s shows and movies? Nobody's fat. Not a single fucking one of them. I know Gone with John talks about this shit all the time on his, like, talking shit about these fat asses. You know how many fat asses I see at work wearing booty shorts that I now get to send home? And it's going to be lovely. You know how tired I am of seeing fucking multicolored, unnatural hair colors, a bunch of fucking, you know, holes in their face. There's something seriously mentally fucking wrong with a woman that wants to punch a hole in her face. One that lets their body go. One that has zero fucking self-respect. Like, a lot of these crazy bitches that don't wear enough clothes to work literally won't even brush their hair before they put it up on a ponytail. That's what gets me the most, is their hair, I think. Probably because, you know, it's the profession I come from. But it's gross. It's so fucking disgusting. And I cannot mask my face when I see these people at work and my face just kind of gives it away. I'm like, ugh, you disgust me, pretty much. But no, now I get to send these roly-polies home, because there's going to be some serious policy enforcement. And at the corporation that I work at, takes dress code pretty serious. Well, the company would like to take dress code seriously. It's just the people in leadership at specific locations that don't enforce it, which the feminist that is at the top of my fucking hit list already stated yesterday that she won't be enforcing the dress code because it's too hot. So, because she won't be enforcing it, her hoes, I'll just call them, I don't know what else to call them, they're disgusting feminists. But when I see anything more than 3 inches above the knee in a shorts, I'm gonna fucking send them home. And they're not gonna be prepared for that encounter because their boss is not gonna enforce it. So I'm working on, so this feminist has targets on these straight white men in leadership's back, and she's solely pretty much focused on getting rid of them. So I'm trying to move the target a little bit. Trying to get the target on my back. I would love to have her and her little fucking minions, her little diversity hires, her black women and her fucking gay dudes, her little posse. I would love for them to come after me. Would love it. I don't see it happening, but Oh, hello, Timothy. How are you? Yes, the overweight rainbow centipede. Yes, Billy. All right. Let's check out this overweight rainbow centipede.
Isn't on your LinkedIn profile that makes you think a great CMO? I'm going to start with you.
Of course. Hi, everybody. Raimi Kent. I am currently the CMO at Progressive Insurance. So if you know Flo, you know me. I would say something on my LinkedIn, something that's not on my LinkedIn profile that makes me a good CMO is probably I have a very deep listening ear for the consumer and customer. And not only can I hear, I can turn that into an actionable insight and an actionable business solution. So that's been something that I put things together, patterns together, and I listen to the consumer, and I think I do that really well.
Yeah, we would call that an essential skill. So that needs to go.
I have the privilege of being the CMO of Mars Wrigley, with all the brands that you know and love, and hopefully consume: M&M's, Snickers, Twix, Extra, Skittles.
Hopefully, you consume all that fucking garbage so you can be fat just like them. No, thank you. That's shit candy. Right, outlaw? They're literally proselytizing off of what men have already built, and they're ruining it. See, you know, feminists don't build anything, okay? They also don't make anything better, because to make something actually better, you have to be an actual woman and a mother. So most of these feminists are shitty moms. They're not even real women. I don't consider any of these crazy bitches women, really. So what they do is they latch onto something and they bastardize it and they fucking ruin it. Because feminists love to make bastards, whether it's illegitimate children or just fucking up something that's already there. Hey, Rusty, how are you? Yes, the fat gender. Yeah, she's the CMO of all the junk candy that make all these people fat, literally.
Starburst, and a host of others. I think the thing that makes me, that's not on my LinkedIn profile, but my friends would tell you, is that I'm super non-judgmental. And I think that's one of the things that makes me a great marketer, because
achievement was, or our campaign or work, like I always want to push for more and
Of
be
course,
better
of
the next
course.
time around, which I think helps you keep pushing the envelope.
Incredible. All right, all of this needs to be on all of our. That's a separate panel, Shelly. We've got to do that as a separate panel. Okay, so let's talk about this. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but this is pretty much known that CMOs don't have the longest tenure, right? So, you know, up to about 2 years ish. And so,
Really?
and I need to be thinking about this for myself as well, obviously. But I think, how do we stop that? Because now that we've got more women in these roles, how do we give it more staying power? Who would like to take that one?
I'll start. I think
By the way, tenure also is on the chopping block in Texas at universities. They are so concerned about keeping their fucking jobs. But guess what? Especially at the university level. After September 1st, tenure is no longer gonna be a thing anymore. Hello, Bullets. I'm glad you're here. Hello, CJ. Sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier when I saw you. I am Johnny Midnight. It's one of those days, a little bit. So, It's not red wine, JR. It's the guy said it was good. Eagle Rare. It's a bourbon. Has a fucking eagle on it. So I was like, what can I get that I can then tomorrow give to one of my clients for him to take home? Yes, Timothy. Exactly. Their cush admin jobs will actually have to go out and work. See, these crazy bitches, you heard it from the last little panel? They make up their jobs. Which actually gave me an idea. I want to make up my own job in these corporations. I need a title though for my position. But let's listen to what these crazy bitches have to say. They want more tenure. Let's hear their little they need to be working at Subway making sandwiches for bullets. Let's hear what their ideas on their staying power.
I think number one, you start with equitable pay. So make sure that women are paid well and that.
Wait, how does that how does that lengthen the tenure? Like, seriously? Equitable pay. They're going to literally puppet all the crazy bitch feminist fucking dogma. Listen, all of it.
For a job that's previously been done by a man, potentially, that you make sure that they know they're valued. And the first way you can do that is make sure that they have equal pay. I think the second is the support. So marketing is something that I think for most of us in this industry, we constantly have to build a case for why marketing is important and how it delivers the bottom line. And I don't know about you all, but I'm a little tired of building that case over and over again. So making sure that you have the support for marketing and know what it does to profitable growth, I think, is another thing at the C-suite level and across.
She doesn't like having to justify her fucking job to the corporation. That's funny. That's funny. Yes, more sandwiches. Yeah, me and JR. JR is my Mexican spirit animal. Okay. We're tapped into that collective consciousness, and we were both like, it's drinking time today. So JR's joining me in that. He feels it too. It has been a rough year. There's a lot that's fucking happened this year. I was thinking about that earlier. I'll go into this after this, but there's a lot going on.
Not just from the CEO, but your peers. So I think that's important. Flexible work schedule, I think, is also important. And then
flexible. So just like the feminist at work that just recently had a baby, doesn't like to close or open or work any more than she fucking has to. She wants a flexible work schedule, which when you work for a corporation, I don't think you're entitled to doing that. That's why there's a whole section of employment called self-employment, entrepreneurship, where you have that freedom. And literally that's where new mothers need to be. If you're going to fucking work and be a mom, you need to be self-employed so you can make your own schedule and all the things. Because it's not fair to ask a corporation to bend to your fucking will because you chose to have a family. I do understand that these feminists think that they're entitled to all the things in the entire world, but that's just not how the world works at all. Yes. They do have to answer to higher ups, but you know what I've noticed? the higher ups seem to be afraid of these crazy bitches. Like, I see it where I work, and it's so damn funny. It's like the most insecure, self-conscious, crazy bitch in a position of authority literally has emotional power over the men that are above her. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. I know. So yes, the flexibility. That's why you go for self-employment. You don't rely on a corporation or a government or all the things like, see, that's what feminists have done. They have almost, I mean, I know they talk about it in certain circles, marry themselves to the government. They marry themselves to the corporation. They literally put on their bosses or the corporation like the responsibility of a husband. Like all the things. And I don't quite understand it. Maybe Billy could, because this is in the realm of feelings. Maybe Billy can explain this to where I would understand. But I don't understand why these women think the corporation, or I don't get why they think they're entitled to the corporation, like to make the corporation bend to their will like that and take care of them like a partner. It's weird. Yes, Sam Fisher. Exactly. There's a lot of people afraid to be Me Too'd. Some have legitimate fears. Some fuck around at work, apparently. But some don't have anything to fear but the accusation itself, strangely. Because a woman can do a false accusation, right? And nothing happens to her if she's lying. Nothing. So the man bears the brunt of that. The reputation destruction, all of that. But the woman gets away scot-free. That's why I'm devising something extra fucking special for this feminist that I work with. Because you know what? This crazy cunt has been gunning for all the straight white men in upper management that don't kiss her ass. Actually, no. One actually does kiss her ass, and she's still gunning for him. But she keeps calling HR with all these false accusations. It's like, I'm going to whip up something extra special for that cunt. Yeah, Timothy, I know. Do we want to listen to more of these crazy bitches? Or should we move on to the 50s feminists? Should we move on? Have we heard enough? Do we understand why the majority of CMO roles are taken up by women? Why we see Bud Light and Target and all the marketing decisions are fucking made by women. Do we understand that? Can we stop calling it the left or the radical left or whatever? People on the left are like, no, it's the radical left. Like, no, it's fucking women, you guys. Will you quit beating around the bush, please? Please. I know, Blitz. Feminists aren't people. Just like commies aren't people. Pinochet had the right idea. Johnny Midnight, I will get my hands on a chopper. Guarantee it. At this point, that would be, Billy, part of my self-care regimen is to get my hands on a chopper and pull a panache. Does that count as self-care, Billy? For me?
Developing women. So I think we have just a in-tune sense of how do we continue to get better. I think Sierra talked about that. And so making sure that we get honest and timely feedback and that it's fair feedback, I think is.
See, they want honest and timely feedback. They ask for the fucking truth all the time. And that's why I don't understand why so many people pander to them and lie to them on a daily fucking basis. Like, part of why these bitches are so crazy is because they're being lied to by everybody. The people that just go along to get along and are like, oh yeah, yeah, diversity hire here. I'll pick up this extra slack, but I'll give you the fucking credit for it. Like, these bitches want to know the truth. And I know it might hurt just for a second, but that's ultimately what they want and what they need. She does look kind of like Michelle Obama, right? No, there was. No, dude, John, I got a video from. No, they're both from the 50s, the ones I shared in the Discord. I gotta pull them up, but yeah, no, the rainbow shit. They were literally warning society about the contagion that is homosexuality and about the mental illness that is fucking homosexuality. They were literally warning the public in the 50s. You know, back when, wasn't it in the DSM where homosexuality was deemed a personality disorder and a mental illness? Before the feminists got into universities and got into psychologies and changed that script? Yeah.
It's really important. So those are a few.
Anyone want to add?
Yeah, I can add a little bit. So I agree with everything that was just said. I do like
Of course you
keeping people
do.
in their jobs longer, whether they're male or female. I just consistency of work, consistency of ideas, and not jumping to something new every single year will help keep good people in their roles. And I think when you have consistency in a leader as well, they can then bring in and keep their bring in the right talent, right? And they know what will thrive in their organizations and thrive in the work that they're doing. And so I think just consistency is a key one.
Yeah, if I may add to what Rami and Tina just said, I think another aspect to consider is you have to ask why, right? Why are you seeing that?
They
Because
do.
the
Always.
tenure may be shorter. You don't know necessarily just yet where are they going. I recently read an article that suggested that the tenure was shortening, but that perhaps many of those CMOs were moving into higher roles within their company, which I think is a great thing. So from a
No.
CMO, you have an
No.
opportunity to do more and
No.
continue to develop. That's excellent, and we should lean into it. But if we do find by asking the 5 whys that there's something else going on there that's not such a positive trend, then absolutely it's what these two women said.
I love that. Gabrielle, do you have anything to add?
See?
I
Oh yeah, I love that. See, that's the thing. The CMO, they take primarily women and then they put them other places. You know, we had a meeting on Monday, and there was a fucking crazy bitch that was there that wasn't even a department supervisor. So this is a management meeting that I go to on Mondays, and this is department supervisors and then managers. And this one, this feminist little puppet, her little pet that she's trying to, fast track into leadership because she's a black woman. Dude, the bitch had fucking this big earrings. You know, the bigger the O, the bigger the hoe thing? Yeah. She wears these. Yeah. She isn't even yet, but the feminist thought it was a good idea to have her come to the leadership meeting. Because she was so confident that her little fucking protege was going to be getting a position that she literally just applied for. That's the fucking level of entitlement that these cunts fucking have. It's so strange. So strange, JR. I know. I'm in a mood, actually. Not in a very good mood. I'm in a sad/angry mood. I feel like I'm always in a sad/angry mood, though. Oh, and then the Scorp thought with her. I don't even want to get into that crazy bitch. She wants to be seen as the unicorn, okay, you guys? Just say she shits rainbows. And, ignore the pseudo virtue signaling. Ignore the strange pictures of her engagement ring that were like different. Ignore the fact that she seems to listen to Truth Seeker. Can we talk about that for a second? Truth Seeker made her post another picture, but she posted an older picture. Maybe when she was actually engaged, not like the one that she's pretending now. Jer. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody with more than 2 brain cells to rub together can look at her pictures and be like, those, did anybody ever do those books where it was like a big collage of stuff and you had to like find the things and then it was like the next page and it was like, what's different? And you'd circle the things that were different, that didn't match on, in the 2 images. Yeah. I mean, when you're literally, when you're talking about an engagement and you're like, here's my ring, and it's the only thing that you're focusing on, the eye tends to go towards like, why are they different? That's weird. No, this shit comes from the frontal face hole of feminists. No. I don't know. I remember these books when I was younger. It was like find, Where's Waldo stuff. But then it was like there was sections that was like, circle the differences. And you're supposed to circle the things that were different. I think it taught some kind of critical thinking faculties. Kush, I know. Like, out of anybody on the entire fucking internet, what? She must, I'm starting to think she's super masochistic. She has to be. It's like, if you're gonna try to pull off a fucking, if you're gonna attempt to pull off a, whatever you call it, where you're lying to the public again, because that's what you are, a lying cunt. You can't help yourself. It's in your nature. So you got to stage a thing to try to prove a point that you're not legitimately making. So it makes it pointless. But why would you tag? It'd be like me pretending to have like a brain tumor and then coming up with these weird pictures of like my brain, but I drew them maybe. And then I tagged the fucking leading brain surgeon in the nation. Like, I tagged him into it. Like, why would you tag Kush? I don't get it. It's funny. It's yes, that's what it was. Find the hidden objects for differences. Yeah. I don't think I want to listen to these crazy bitches anymore. Hold on, let me pull something up. Oh. Where is it? Mm-hmm. Lesbian initiation is what this shit's called. Okay, I'm gonna play. I think I'll play 2. Yeah. Okay. Look at this shit. It's a 10-minute video. I wonder if I'll get a strike if I play the whole damn thing. It's on a small channel. I'm just gonna play it because it's fucking ridiculous. But this is literally a physical representation of what these crazy fucking feminists literally do to these young women mentally. It's what they do. So there's, I don't know, it's kind of like a rape scene, I guess, but there's really no rape involved. They just like physically hold her down. That's what the feminists do today to these young women mentally. So Pang. It's good to see you, Pang. I wish you guys would not do that fuckery here, please. Anyway, I'm gonna play this fucking crazy bitch. So, crazy bitches.
In the course of the evening, the party had reached a peak. The Dykes had all assembled in the main conference room.
Dykes.
The purpose of the meeting was to reach a decision on what to do with the young dead. Each Dyke had her own ideas of what the initiation test should be, but only one suggestion would be used. A vote was being taken on the suggestions, and the straws were being drawn to see who would carry out the initiation as decided.
And fast brother. All right.
Deb, for her ordeal, still not knowing what she was about to undergo, went willingly upstairs with the Dyke. Sufficiently mellowed the young Deb for The Dyke had sufficiently mellowed the young Deb for her ordeal. Still not knowing what she was about to undergo, went willingly upstairs with the Dyke.
Right? This is literally programs from the 50s. The 50s. I know you guys are like, what the fuck is this? This is literally, it's almost like they're telling you what's been going on, okay? They're telling you what I've been telling you, only with pictures. And they were warning people about it. So no, it's not a parody, Johnny. No, Listen, or just watch it. I know the dykes. It's really funny. I mean, but it's not funny. At the very end, I mean, it's all true, and that's the thing. It's fucking all true.
A decision finally being reached, and the dyke to carry out the initiation picked. They all left the room ready and eager to assist if necessary.
See?
The dyke and the young Deb enter the bedroom, and the suspense begins for the dead.
That's so funny, Johnny, because in the comment section, one of them said, I didn't know Bob Dylan was a dyke. I know, one's trying to look like Bob Dylan. But no, if you listen to exactly what they're saying, they're right. They're absolutely right. You should see. Here, I'm gonna share the link to this. You guys make a comment or check the comments on your own time. Like, there's so many people that are like, yeah, I guess they found this during the pandemic or whatever. And even lesbians are like, yeah, in a strange way, this is like exactly how this happens. It's crazy. But no, this is true.
The dyke is in no hurry. She has all evening, and the Deb has no place to go. At times like this, every dyke is out for herself. She would like to be the first one to initiate this young girl.
Right?
It would give the dyke great satisfaction if she could be the first to have her.
Right? How they all operate.
The young Deb, realizing now what they've worked out for her, begins to show fear. She tries to escape. That doesn't work. But the dykes are too strong for her, and eventually she's overpowered. The bull dyke will now do her work. The dyke never feels remorse or shame for what she has done. To her, it's another conquest, one to be remembered for a short time and then forgotten. Soon the party will...
See, and what he said there was so damn important. The dyke will never feel remorse. It's just a little conquest and will soon be forgotten. It's how all these fucking crazy bitches operate. Like, I know this is a little different than how it actually happens because they use way more, like, coercion and mental fucking rape and emotional fucking rape. But this is a good physical representation of how this fucking happens. And this shit happens at the universities. I'm sorry. Like, your daughters that you send to universities that go to fucking feminist fucking groups and shit, they do this shit. They mind fucking rape and emotionally rape these young girls. So, and no, these lesbians, these dykes, feel zero fucking remorse because they are only after, like, what is it? Satisfying a short-term sexual fucking urge. That's why it is a fucking death cult. This feminist bullshit.
will be over and she'll return to the heterosexual world that she so violently rejects. A world that she must constantly be on the guard against. A world and its male inhabitants she must pretend to accept.
Right? Meanwhile, they want to fucking kill them. I know, right, John? They never call it rape when a guy was not
discovered
involved.
her true identity, would turn against her and destroy her.
Exactly.
The path of a lesbian is truly a hard and lonely one. A few, if any, ever find what they're searching for: true love. Someone that they can love and who will love them. Love that will last them the rest of their natural lives.
See, and that's the thing. That is what I hear from the LGBT community. None of them mate long term. It's just a constant cycle of, like, short term fucking relationships or situationships or whatever you want to fucking call them. It's hedonistic, is what it is, and they are all unfulfilled. Like, every one of them that I know that even get married fucking get divorced too. Like, there's very few, like a very small percent, that actually literally spend their lives together. All right, she changes in wife clothes. She's actually a wife of children. LARPing.
Feminine, married, and have children, masculine
There we
in
go.
appearance and personality. Many of them are feminine, married, and have children. Their marriage is a cover-up for their lesbianism. As long as human beings are
I win.
interested in their own sexual satisfaction,
See?
there will always be inverts.
Hey, Woody. My e-son.
The following are some important statistics in the study of lesbianism.
Okay, this is from the 50s.
The
Condition.
problems of the male and female homosexual are of a complex nature. There are answers to
Neurotic hold on, let's back it up.
Female homosexuality.
Neurotic fear of marriage. Okay, what do the fucking feminists push all the time? You don't need a man, don't get married, patriarchy. It's what is it? Slavery, blah blah blah. Neurotic fear. These crazy bitches instill this fear into these young women.
Sexual are of a complex nature. There are answers to these problems.
Fear of bearing children in marriage, okay? They are constantly pushing this whole, oh, having children is going to kill you. Having children is going to ruin your body. Having children is going, in this overpopulated world, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's what they're constantly pushing to create more lesbians. And it hasn't changed. This is literally from the 50s. And the narrative has not fucking changed.
And these answers can only be found through competent medical advice.
Unfounded hatred of all men. That is a feminist right there. They hate men. Like how is this? Can we call it common knowledge in the 50s? I mean, this is obviously knowledge, scientific knowledge. This was from a study, some studies that were done, right?
Society as a whole is responsible for this ever-increasing social problem.
Yes, it is.
It is therefore up to us to be understanding and forthright in our desire to help those in need of it.
Okay. Only through understanding the facts can we keep lesbianism from becoming a serious social problem. I would remove lesbianism and put in feminism because it's the same fucking thing. Feminism. Lesbianism has been running under the guise of feminism and equal rights and blah, blah, blah. But it's the same fucking thing. It is more than a serious social problem now.
Lesbians can be cured if they show a strong desire to be cured. They cannot cure themselves entirely. Sound medical treatment and advice is necessary to effect a permanent cure.
See, and you know what? They outlawed, what are they called? They used to send, the mentally ill, the gay people there, right? The recalibration training. What do they call it? Where they used to pray the gay away. Pretty much to fix the mentally ill equivalent of racial sensitivity training and implicit bias training. Pretty much the mirror image of that. No, they outlawed it. What is it called? It's called something specific. I know the Supreme Court outlawed it, though. I think in the 70s. It's not re-education. It's JR. No, it's not sanitariums. They did do electric shock therapy. Conversion therapy. Yes, conversion therapy. Isn't it weird how they outlawed that shit, but they literally have something that's exactly the same, only they're converting people into all sorts of, white guilt-ridden people. I mean, they have conversion therapy. They call it racial sensitivity training. They call it implicit bias training. Yeah, that's literally conversion therapy. It's the same structure. But look at this shit.
Medical authorities state that lesbianism is a symptom that affects the personality.
Yes.
Treatment is aimed at changing that personality structure.
Yes. And that's just all. It's a personality disorder. It's a mental illness. I know, right? Right? So, this was in the 50s. They have one on homosexuality to help young boys, to prevent young boys from, falling prey to sexual predators. You know what's funny? My son is extremely anti-gay. And I did not raise him that way at all. But you know what? Him and his friend group, and him as an individual, has been sexually fucking harassed so many fucking times by gay men who think they're entitled to just say whatever they want and get up in his close personal space, that it's left a really bad taste in his mouth for gay people. He doesn't like them. He doesn't like gay men. He doesn't really have a problem with lesbians because they haven't crossed boundaries, so to speak, like the men have felt entitled to do in our society to my minor child. I think when he was 15 and he worked at Producers in College Station, his boss was gay and kept offering him money to stay late. And he ended up quitting that fucking job because he felt really fucking uncomfortable and he didn't want to have to kick his fucking ass. So, gay men that he has come in contact with have sullied all of them for him. He doesn't like them. Neither do his friends, though. And I think it also comes from growing up and having a bunch of gay boys in school that were super virtue signaling and attention seeking and obnoxious. And he doesn't like those either. So he doesn't seem to have a problem with lesbians, though. Again, because they haven't crossed the boundaries with him personally. So these people produce their own, enemies. People that will not accept them are doing it to themselves. CJ, yeah, it's true. Well, I don't know if I have anything else. I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to say anything about this shit, they are welcome to come up. JR, one of these days, man. If you make your debut, I would love to be it here. When you finally get your internet sorted out. What is that? CJ. Let me rub my gash. It was so fun. Yeah, there's a certain amount of penetration that strangely women are not allowed to achieve or not able to without an artificial male apparatus. Strangely. See, they still need men for fucking everything, whether they want to admit it or not. No, you won't, Timothy. I dare you. I'll pay you money if you can give me a strike. I have not gotten a strike in so long. See, and I was testing all the strikes. Because you know what? I hit all the landmines. Even the medical misinformation strike I got out of. So they never fucking struck me again. I found out that if you can get out of one, like you'll never get that one again. I've gotten so many strikes. Hate speech, all that shit. Yeah. Let me see what that is, John. Hold on, let me open up. DJ. The hell? Report block? I can't really give you a wrench. That's weird. Oh, it's because I'm. Hold up. I'm signed in here. It says something else, though. That's weird. Sam Fisher, hello.
Hi, Jam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm surviving. So, I wanted to actually point something out. That short clip you were showing earlier, that video from the 50s. What I saw
Yeah.
right there was a group of predators preying on the
Yeah.
young, and that's really all it is, if you ask me, anyway.
Shit.
It's predators doing what predators do, and I think it should be treated as such, but it's not, unfortunately. our entire our entire system has devolved into a hierarchy of predators, and it's
I know,
literally
right?
not, and that's
Yeah.
like, I mean, one of the biggest things with me is that, like, I'm gonna use my personal experience as sort of a metric here. My ex had
Yeah.
this dude who she outright told me she had an issue with some, like, 6 months prior to our meeting, because this dude she was just friends with, quote unquote, she caught him shaving her at the time. He was 35. Her daughter was 9 years old, telling her daughter, the boys won't like you if you don't shave your legs. First of all, at 9 years old, that's not a necessity. It's not even something you should be talking to her about. And then when I immediately was like, well, that's definite grooming behavior, it turned into the worst fight we had to date. One of them.
Right.
And then she couldn't figure out why I didn't want her taking my daughters there. And I mean, I don't advocate violence, but it literally took me telling her, I will make a grenade and roll it under his table. I don't care who's there if you take my kids there again. It took an extreme threat to make her stop taking my children there. And it shouldn't have. And that is the norm
Right.
for her
Right.
friends. And that is what our society has become. Single mothers doing things to endanger their own children for no other reason than to spite fathers and to be selfish. And that's where it starts,
Yeah.
right there with that predatorial
Yeah.
behavior. They knew it
Yeah.
back then.
I know. I've been down this 1950s rabbit hole and watching so many of these old movies, and I'm like, dude, this is basic shit my nana taught me when I was a kid. I'm like, no wonder. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird how basic it is,
It,
and
you know what?
they don't do anything like this anymore. It's all
Yeah, exactly.
acceptance. It's all inclusivity. It's all, yeah, all the mentally ill people we see fucking up everybody's lives. Yeah, we have to tolerate them. It's all about tolerance, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what it is too. They don't put out forewarning type material like this anymore. It's all like you said, acceptance and inclusivity garbage. And now,
Yeah.
like one of the universities near me, there's a big thing because a professor, one of their philosophy professors, came right out and said he did not understand why it was such a problem for an adult, a
Right.
grown adult, to have relations with children.
Right. Right.
This is what it is. They're normalizing this filth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and guess who's spearheading the normalization of this shit? It's fucking women. It's feminists. It's
Yep.
women. It's not the left. It's not the radical left. It's women.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Women always do it. Women always do it. We changed culture. That's our fucking job. That's part of our job description is the arbiters of culture.
I don't get what.
Hey,
Well,
I'm
here's
gonna
what I
bring
don't
bullets
get.
up. Have you chatted?
I I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think so. I
No. I'm sorry. My internet's like borking. I know I'm sure it sounds good for everybody else, but for some reason on my end it's not sounding good. It's like I have to really pay attention to follow what you're saying because you're borging out. Hey, Bullets. I know you heard him, right? You heard every word he said. I know the chat heard because they would have said something.
Yeah,
It's on my end. It's on my end.
Yeah, I heard a lot what he's talking about. How you doing, Sam? Good to see you.
It keeps buffering me.
yeah. I think.
Maybe. Hey, let let me restart because I don't think I've restarted in a while. Let me restart and I'll be right back. You guys will be good here though, right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
cool.
All right. Yeah.
Sam, this is Bullets. Bullets, this is Sam.
Hey, what's up, bullets?
I'll be
YOLO, Sam.
back.
Yeah, I think we spoke before. It's been a while.
We
I
we
see
may
you in
have at
chat
one
a
point or
lot.
another.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen you in chats
Yeah.
a lot. You've been around a long time.
Yeah. I haven't always been doing videos, or I didn't always participate before, but once my kids started to be targeted by this system more than prior, that changed.
No, he's not the only one. I recently encountered a young man, in my real life. He's about 17 years of age. He basically got shit on by the school system, and he doesn't know what to do with his life. So I actually have a real world project that I'm working on with this young man, and I'm using MGTOW mentorship, to try to steer him in the right direction,
Yeah.
using new direction directives that we promote, that me and Iridium and Contriver have been promoting.
Okay.
And so, like, setting small, teaching him first how to achieve small achievable goals. Like, right now he's unemployed, he doesn't know how to get employed or what he needs to do. So I told him, I'm giving him like small goals, like, first thing you need to do, get your birth certificate and your social security card from your aunt, wherever that may be. Get that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get it, let me know. And I'm going to get you with your mother, because her name's on your birth certificate. We'll take you down to the DMV. We'll get you an ID, and then we'll start working on your driver's license. It's that simple. Easy goal. That's all you got to do. Don't do anything else. Just do that.
Yeah.
And
Just
when
trying to
you
get them
get
on the
that,
right track.
right. Then when you get that, come back and see me, and then we'll work on your next goal. So it's going to be interesting. I want to see how this works in the real world. So well, that's a project I'm working on. I'm very interested to see how that's going to turn out. Because, as I've always preached, I always believe that MGTOW mentorship, the mentorship aspect of the philosophy of itself, is probably the most beneficial thing, positive thing that has ever come out of the MGTOW community.
Yeah. Well, we got to focus on helping young men keep focused. I think that's always a good goal, because that's how we'll keep them away from the usury, from being preyed upon by people who just see them as a resource generator. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well,
and
he does have immediate family, but the thing is this: immediate family, are not always the best of mentors, because even they have not been mentored themselves. They need to find somebody outside of their box.
Yeah, someone who's outside of their normal circles.
To that degree, yeah, you could say it. But what I mean, you need to, if you want to go into a certain type of business or field, say if you want to work on rockets, it'd probably be a good idea to hook up with somebody or find somebody
that knows rocket surgery.
Yeah, that does rocket surgery. That works for NASA or something like that. Because you obviously don't have anybody like that in your family, so you need to look outside. You need to put your ball. And I explained it to the kid this way: you need to put your balls in the wheelbarrow and chuck them down the road of success, and find yourself a good mentor where you want to be. Find out what you want to do. Find you a Mr. Miyagi. It's going to teach you how to wax on and wax off, paint fence. Catch fly with chopsticks.
I fucking love that analogy. The Mr. Miyagi one. That's awesome. And that's the thing. The only two people in my family who would absolutely have taken the time to teach me have passed away. But
they're not gone. They live through you.
Yeah.
They live through you and what they've taught you. Even Kush can elaborate on that. He's had some pretty good mentors. Some people that he really didn't get along with, but had a profound impact on his life. There's Mr. Classy himself.
Hey, Bullets. Hey, Sam. Hey,
what's up, Bling King?
Hey.
What's up, Kush?
Good to see you. I just wanted to say something. That's true. My parents were my only mentor figures. And I'm glad they weren't either, because like Bullet said, I needed somebody outside the box as well. So that was a real important aspect of it. I gotta say, that video that you had, like that 1950s video, that freaked me the fuck out.
Right? Dude, that's exactly
that was great, right?
Dykes are doing.
That was hard to watch.
Well,
seriously.
But I mean, the Dykes today do a psychological equivalent of that. They get these young girls that, these very, well-meaning fucking parents send their young daughters to college, and they fucking entrap them, and they psychologically manipulate them into hating men. They terrorize them emotionally, and that's literally a physical representation of what these crazy bitches today do to young women mentally and emotionally.
Because there's nobody who's actually got the balls to stand up to it really on any scale beyond maybe what we do here, right? But nobody with any modicum of political power has the nuts to say anything against it, because, like I said before, they don't want to get Me Too'd or ousted. Their power is more important to them than doing the right thing.
I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it when I first saw it. I thought, okay, what is this? Like some some like 50s, 60s softcore porn, you know, and then you know Mandy's like, no, this is real, and I'm like, you mean real, like Reefer Madness real? Or like this is an actual like film
Yeah, I
documenting,
didn't expect that either. I was like, what, is this some kind of like, and then it's like, what? I'm looking at grape right now.
Yeah, that's what it is too. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, Kush. It's predators doing what predators do.
Yeah. It looks
It's
like
just not on the lesbian aspect of things. There are homosexual men that are predatory like this as well.
There are. Yes, there are. It's funny because Gone with John made a really good point in the chat earlier. He said they never call it rape when it's a woman involved.
Yeah. Yeah, so I saw that
and they never call it rape, but that's what it is.
In the homosexual community, what they do, I've heard of this happening before. I grew up in Austin, and it's very much in it's got a large homosexual and lesbian population, second only to San Francisco. And I knew this group of older men, in their 50s and 60s, and they were predatory, and they would go to the gay bars like Old Can Harry's, and understand that these are very well-to-do men. A lot of these dudes were in like some heavy-duty crime and shit like that as well. And I remember a story where a dude that I knew, they got him strung out on drugs, they got him in debt, and basically, if you've never heard of what a piggy party is, that's what they did to this guy. We're talking like 5 or 6 dudes taking turns on this, 18, 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
No,
I haven't.
They do shit like that.
I have another one that's beware of homosexuals, and it's all about, it's kind of like a PSA for young boys to be aware of men that are predatory. I shared it in the GM Discord.
Yeah. I thought a pig party was frat guys getting together and finding ugly chicks. Honestly,
we called that hogging in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the gay community, they call it a piggy party. Basically, they they'll tie a young man up, and they'll rape him.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. By the way, hello, Outlaw.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Outlaw? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Sam.
Outlaw.
How you guys doing? Bullets?
Hey, Outlaw, what did you think of the feminist rape video?
Oh my god. That was I need bleach.
You need bleach?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Like the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
sorry, guys, my internet. Something's up with my internet, and it's like, I don't know.
Well, hey guys, there is another channel that I attend frequently. I am going to go over there for a bit, and I will be back if this is still going. You guys enjoy the conversation. Thanks for having me, GM. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for coming up and speaking. Thank you.
Take care. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See you again, Sam.
Yeah.
And so basically, what we witness is a rape.
Yeah.
From my perception, even though it's a movie, instead of like a documentary to educate. Probably they played this in like some school. Probably they probably played it in some colleges back in the 50s to try to like educate some women on the subject.
Yeah.
But when you're, it's going to take more than a documentary. When you have an entire university that's taking red money, and left-wing money, to fund this type of hedonism culture, in these universities and stuff, and promote it.
Yeah.
The universities knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Even
They
to
take
this day.
They take the money where they can extract the money. I don't blame the people that give up the money, because I see them as like hostages, technically, especially if they're straight white men. They're literal hostages. And these fucking feminists go to these men that have a lot of money and are like, give me money and I'm going to fucking tap into your white guilt that you already have. And all the guilt that you already have to fund our fucking death cult.
Mm-hmm.
They're the spearheads. These women.
This is going to blow up in their face.
Yeah.
It can only go so far before society says enough, and they already are. The problem that I see is that everybody is pushing for conservative values. Especially they want Trump back in office. They want conservative values. They want to reestablish the modern nuclear family. The problem is that women are not being held to account, and the laws have not changed. Even though some of the abortion laws have been repealed and given back to the states, you know in those states where abortion is still legal, I mean, that's not a safe place for a man to hook up with a thought, to establish a modern nuclear family. But even still, you have no fault divorce, and other domestic violence laws to contend with. If you read the Duluth model, you know, basically you have no control over your house or your family. It's all up to it's the government hands it all over to her. It's kind of like they talk about, like, if you control her ability to spend money or her finances, well, what if she's not responsible enough to handle money or finances? What if you're like 30 or 40 years old, you marry a young, 18, 19, 20-year-old thought, knock her up, you know, and she doesn't have, the economics education or home education, because they don't teach that in school anymore, and how to manage a household. And all of a sudden, you're arguing with her over spending too much money, because she's going, having a blast with your credit card on Amazon, and spending all the fucking rent money and putting you behind and putting the family in jeopardy. Next thing you know, a big argument happens. She calls the cops, and you're arrested because you're controlling her ability to spend money, that makes you an abuser in the eyes of the law.
Well, that's what always terrified me, and still will always terrify me about getting married. You're literally one bad argument away from losing all your shit within no time. I mean, that's the way my coworkers live. Basically, I mean, they live almost in fear, and I'm like, I don't have that fear hanging over my head like that. I couldn't stand having that hanging over my head like that constantly. Just knowing that, if I look at this thought the wrong way, it's over. It's like, no, man, I'm not dealing with that shit.
First, you don't even have to do anything. It's he said, she said. She could say anything. It's like, ordering a pizza. She could call the police and say that you hit her, or she doesn't, or she just wants you out of the house. The cops are going to show up and say, "Hey, dude, you need to leave." And they're like, "Hey, dude, this is my fucking house. It's in my name," and they're going to be like, "It doesn't matter. You have to leave." You got to be fucking kidding me. This happens every day, gentlemen, every day here in the United States.
People,
and India. It's happening over in India. Ask Contriver.
People need to understand, first and foremost, marriage is a business. It's a contract.
Yep.
Because the government is in the business of marriage.
Yes. You know why? You know why? Outlaw? You know why the government got involved in people's marriages?
Go ahead.
Divorce Corp.
No. Feminists brought the government into personal lives. They brought the personal into government. They brought sex into government. They brought marriage into like they did that. They melded those two things together. Feminists did.
When you understand that that the government, the United States of America, is a corporation, it's a business. You understand marriage, it's a business. It's a contract. It's a business contract. That's literally what it is 100%. And it's a bad business contract for men. It is a man, his partner, the woman, and the state. And the woman and the state will profit off of these men because it is a bad business contract for men. I do not blame women for seeing it as a good deal on their benefit. But men need to wake up and understand we don't benefit. Marriage is not for you. You are the person who supplies the finances.
Right.
Well, that was the problem I saw when I was younger. I just, I saw no path to profitability, and I'm like, my life's a business, man. I look at it this way, and I saw that as there's no way to profitability for that. There was no way that I would come out ahead in a situation like that. The only way was to not play the game, literally. That was the only option I could figure that I saw that worked towards having any kind of, carefree wealth, that I was able to achieve a level of carefree wealth. Otherwise, you're just like Outlaw said, you're living on this plantation. You're indentured to that system, primarily through marriage, because that just keeps you poor. Because men are very simple. My needs are very simple. I don't. That's why they love it when I travel for the company, because my needs are so simple. I don't run up a lot of expenses when I travel. It's that kind of thing, and that's what I saw. It was just such a financial drain, and it's by design, like Outlaw said. It's by design. It's designed to keep you poor.
Yep.
Sam Fisher's back.
We live.
Yeah, it wasn't much on the other channel.
We live, gentlemen, in a capitalistic society, and unfortunately, capitalism sniffs out profit wherever it can, and marriage is unfortunately one of them. These judges have no problem putting these men, thousands upon thousands of men, every single day.
Excuse me.
Away.
Whoa. Well, before you layer that on capitalism, let's not forget, it's left-wing policies that put us here and to begin with.
Well, that
hold on a minute, but it's not just left-wing policies, though.
God.
That's the thing. It's any political policy.
Now,
politicians are all out to profit off of us, no matter what party they identify with.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying capitalism is a bad thing in of itself. I'm saying look at the extreme, the negative extreme end of it. When you stretch it out, how far it goes. Yes, capitalism is a good thing in and of itself. But it's when people takes it to the extremes and finds profit where there shouldn't be.
Okay.
Outlaw, I think you're missing something that
again, you're what you're saying is that that the judges and the prosecutors, are acting as private entities, as capitalistic private entities to make money. They're not. They're government employees. They work for the government. They get their money from the tax base.
Yes, and they're making money off of it.
The issue with divorce, when they pay into child support, they know that they can also use that as a slush fund, to go into their own pension plans. It's a bureaucratic scam.
Yes, bureaucrats. Yes. Guess what? The majority of the bureaucrats are fucking feminists.
It has nothing to do with capitalism.
Yeah.
The problem I think a lot of people miss is that our system assumes the honor, integrity, and moral uprightness of its participants. participant. For example, when our founders created what they created, they assumed that we, the people, having been given this document they framed that outlined what our rights were based on, at the time, what their conception of God was, I guess. They assumed that we would always be willing to, for a lack of a better term, let our nuts swing and check power when need be. They assumed honor, basically, the continuance of human integrity. People forget that our system is only functional so long as we have integrity. You know what I mean?
Hold on. I just gotta say some soldier girl, you don't have to fucking keep talking about yourself and your fucking virtues. Nobody here really gives a shit. They just give a shit if you have something valuable to participate to the conversation. We don't care about your life story. Just saying. Just participate in the conversation, not pseudo virtue signal about yourself, and that would get you very far in this chat. Okay. Okay.
That'll
Go
probably
ahead,
get you put in timeout.
guys. So yeah, you guys want to watch this beware of homosexuals video? It's another 10-minute video. Yeah.
If I could just interject really quick before you
Yes.
get into this,
Please.
Because
Please.
obviously the biggest issue that I'm seeing, when it comes to MGTOW and the red pill and the manosphere culture and everything, the politics seem to be skewed, pretty oddly left for some reason, like black pill. I was very surprised when I went over to the black pill community and encountered everyone over there's a Marxist. Everyone over there in black pill, whenever I tried to engage them on a conversation about their politics, because I wanted to see what they were about. Whenever I brought up communism or Marxism, oh no, we don't want to talk about that.
But
they're very anti-right wing.
But yeah, but bullets.
So I am very, very, my ears are, scanning,
I know.
whenever I'm hearing people bring up politics.
Yeah.
Because there's an agenda behind that.
Yeah.
Both left and right.
But bullets.
I hate it.
What I noticed from that whole encounter, they were using very toxically feminine tactics against you. They were trained by the matriarchy how to be feminine and battle
Right.
you.
Well, yeah,
that's any blue pill that's trying to apply himself to the gynocentric landscape, which is exactly what they're trying to do.
But it's
Black
Marxist
pill.
in nature because feminists have studied Marxism also.
Yeah, they basically taught him how to simp and cock.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I did some videos on it. The gynocentric landscape, for one, red pill versus black pill versus MGTOW another. Where I bring up the politics of this and how they're using skewing their politics are skewed, and they're using that as a justification, to defame, the MGTOW philosophy, and it's the antithesis for everything that MGTOW stands against.
One of my favorite tactics is when they try to shame the MGTOW men I know, who was it? Not So Erudite. I thought it was hilarious. She's like, oh, I know they're a gay community, but there's not they don't realize that
bitch don't know
men
shit.
have become Teflon to that garbage. That doesn't work.
Who was it?
Not So Erudite, I think it was.
It's like
I don't know. Chronic did a stream about it.
I mean, back in the day, there was a girl called Shoe on Head. Shoe girl on head or shoe on head something.
Yeah, I remember Shoe.
Well,
I remember that.
I can tell you all on this panel right now, I don't give a damn about left or right. I don't give a shit about either side of the political spectrum.
Exactly.
Look.
No, the
we
politics
don't have
are
our
meant to
families.
steer you down an agenda. It's meant to steer you away from MGTOW. you know, or any positive aspect of your lifestyle. It's meant to distract you.
All right.
It's meant to suck you in and bring you back to the plantation, nothing more. The right wants you to believe that the trap thought.
Hey
What's
guys,
that?
hold on, guys. Can I play my "Beware of Homos" video now?
Please.
Yes.
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. Let's
Go for it.
Now we
Okay.
go on
GM do a
different
video.
tangents.
No. This
Go for
this is from 1961. This was released in 1961. Okay,
Yes.
and it literally talks about grooming. Look at this old shit. Boys beware. Look, the cops in Inglewood Unified School District put this PSA out, okay?
I'm Lieutenant Williams.
Bullets, I see that. We have gay and trans in this community. Please be respectful. We don't side with political agenda here. At least I don't. Okay, cool, Bullets. I side with fucking psychology and mental illness and personality disorders. So I know you can ally yourself all you want, but I'm just saying in the 1950s when the DSM clearly stated that homosexuality was literally a personality and a mental illness disorder. That's what I'm going from back in time.
Mm-hmm. My stance is this: is that I keep my platform open.
I know you do.
I've had trans MGTOW, in my community before. Some have relaxed, and come back to the other team.
How do you have
Others
a
have
trans
gone their own
MGTOW?
way. They have every right to go their own way. We don't discriminate against these men. They chose their anti-gynocentric lifestyle as it pertained to them.
Yes.
And I won't shame them for it.
Sure.
Right. And I'm not shaming. I just focus on mental illness is my primary focus. And crazy bitchery. That's my primary focus.
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not taking a political stance, on either the right or the left on this.
Yeah.
The thing is this. I mean, if we're here to help people, if we're here to, provide, a safe place or a service, or an opportunity where they can better themselves and heal and go through their process, we need to keep open minds and keep our platforms open and be receptive to these people instead of condemning them, for what society has brainwashed them into. It's not their fault.
Well, but they have to actually come and be like, hey, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was brainwashed.
There's not a person in this chat, on this panel, or on this platform that has not been led down the wrong path at one time or point in their life.
Yes. And redemption is available for those who want it, Bullets. Not for those who want to fucking further their indoctrinated agendas. That's where I draw the line. I do not further indoctrinated agendas.
I separate them from their ideology and I leave it at that. And I disagree with the ideology.
Maybe I'm ignorant, but what do you mean by a trans MGTOW?
Oh my God. Can we please watch this homo video, please? Beware.
Well,
we'll carry that on later.
We would discuss it afterwards. Let us. I mean, Godmother has streamed after a long time, so let us relish all of that. Yes. So let us keep that conversation for backstage. We could have a back and forth after this. Yes.
Okay.
Let
I
us be
want
a
to play
little bit
this
more
because
indulgent.
I went down this old video rabbit hole, and I mean I came across videos that were directed at wives, at talking to children about social issues, about so many things. I watched many hours of 1950s content, and I'm like, why is there nothing out there like this now? I mean, it was so direct. It was the language that they used in their stuff was so to the fucking point. It wasn't all wordy, it wasn't all fucking abstract. It was like, hey, this is reality, this is what you could do. Like there was a mother, it was like one where it was like, what is love? And the mother sat down with a fucking book and was like, here, this is love, and this is a different kind of love. And I mean, social stuff that was available for viewership in the fucking 1950s. And I'm like,
Mandy,
what happened
I'm
to
going to
this
mute.
shit?
Play your video.
Like,
Yeah.
I said what I had to say.
Play the video.
hello?
Play the video.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
here.
My thing keeps coming out. So if something happens to this while I right now.
A police officer attached to the juvenile division.
Yep, she cut out.
Oh, the internet's going.
What the fuck?
It's fine. She's going to make a comeback. Here is the thing. I think that those issues that we are discussing right now, it could be very well discussed afterwards. So let us not pay attention to that. Apart
Yeah,
from
we can
that,
take it over to my channel.
yeah. I mean, that would be much more appropriate because, I mean, two people could have a discussion. And Sam Fisher, sir, I
Yeah.
have, I actually met you after quite a long time, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, unwanted contriver. Nice to meet you. I didn't realize that was you.
Likewise, sir. Likewise. Uh, I think that the social programming and that sort of stuff, uh, we made we did a stream together with Good Mother. I mean, 1 year ago or something. It had the content from the Iselin Institute from California, and it literally talked about how we could uh, have these spectrums of people. Actually, it was meant to work as the progenitor for the MK Ultra programming or something, which later happened in Canada or something. But it literally happened in the Iselin Institute, where people, were much more rather brazen and abrasive about their own worldview. So that is the gist of
Right.
what I'm trying to say. So
Okay. Well, I mean, it's
yeah,
I didn't understand what was meant by the whole trans MGTOW thing. I mean, like, I agree with what I think it was Bullet said,
yeah,
that we shouldn't reject these people, like, if they're
uh,
looking for redemption.
yeah,
Because listen, I mean, I know I've known
uh,
more than a few people. Oh,
yeah,
GM's back. Let's let her play her
yeah, yes,
video.
yes,
I just
yes.
noticed. Sorry.
GM, would
No,
you?
no, go ahead and finish, Sam. Go ahead and finish.
I was
You're
just gonna
already on
say
the roll.
I've known more than a few people who, like, the person I was learning computer science from not too long ago. Dude wants to be a woman. I don't understand it. I understand why he is where he is, and
Right.
it was because
Now you are.
Is he bargaining now? Because I don't hear him
Yes, yes,
anymore.
I
yes,
have I
yes,
have no
yes,
idea.
yes, yes. He's bargaining now.
I can go into detail. I'm kind of like
Nah,
the in-house expert on trans MGTOW in this community.
Oh my
So if you have
god.
any questions, you
I'm
can come
pretty
talk to
sure
me about it.
well,
I'm just
we
telling
shall
you
have a
as
separate discussion.
hold on. I'm just telling you as a literal former gender dysphoric individual. It's a mental fucking illness brought upon by social abuse, whether it be
I
family,
don't
whether it be
disagree with you on
society.
that.
Yeah.
You're
So you
getting
were
That's why
you're
my
you're,
primary
you're
focus is
taking
on
what I
the
said out
mental
of
health
context.
of the people. No. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to get stuck on trans. I want to talk about gay shit.
Let's go.
Okay.
Can we
Let's
talk
play
about
the
gay
video.
shit?
After
Yeah.
all,
Okay,
it's June
Bring on the
Come
gay shit.
on. Come on.
let's talk about gay shit.
Come on. Come on.
Okay,
Yes.
hold on. Beware of homos.
No.
Here we go. Beware.
All right, here we go.
You give me the video in the private chat. I would play it over here.
Lots of young people hitch a good way to get from one place to another. But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy played baseball all afternoon and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride. He'd done it 100 times before, and he didn't think anything was unusual when the driver struck up a friendly conversation. In fact, he seemed like a real nice guy. He asked Jimmy if he played baseball in the park often. Jimmy told him they practiced 3 times a week and played a rival group on Friday afternoon. The stranger was a good listener, too, and it only seemed minutes before they pulled up in front of Jimmy's house.
Just to be extra fucking clear, the social dynamics that is covered in this video goes across the board. This is exactly what the feminists do to befriend other women. So it's the same grooming tactics. So in this video, it's okay, it's a dude with a young boy and it's gay shit, but it's literally what the feminists also do, the lesbians do, to bring people into their sex cult.
In fact, to add
What's
more to
going on
your
in the chat, by the way? Yes,
yeah.
please add some concrete, contriver.
Okay. In fact, to add more concrete to your argument, I would say there were actually nuns, Catholic nuns actually, who
And you
were,
guys can hear me.
yeah,
I'm gonna hop
who were,
over to the chat and listen in from the chat.
sure, sir, sure thing. Nice to meet you, by the way. Okay, so Catholic nuns actually who took a vow to remain, chaste and celibate for lifetime and devote themselves to God. In that regard, when they were taken into Iselin Institute, which the video we covered earlier 1 year ago, in that video it was written that just because they were never sexually stimulated in any way, shape, or form, when they were actually touched by another woman, they actually got sexually stimulated and they thought that it was normal. They revoked their membership from being a Catholic nun and they became lesbian activists back in the 60s during the bra burning generation.
Okay, hold on. What the fuck's going on in the chat? Exactly. I don't
Private
really
conversation.
understand. I
Watch a
just
gay
see.
video.
I want to watch my homo video. What the fuck? I'm not
Watch your
gay.
homo
If that's
video. Let us handle the chat. It's an interesting
what,
conversation.
JR, you know what to do if you need to. Okay.
Don't,
Soldier
JR.
girl.
I'm having a conversation.
I don't know
You
what the fuck's
always
going
do
on.
that. Quit doing
Yeah.
that.
No. My channel, my rules, Bullets. Just like your channel, your rules. You allow crazy bitches on your platform. I do not.
Okay, yeah, always, because y'all kick them off.
Yes.
Y'all run them off.
Because
Y'all run
they
everybody off.
cause chaos. Not everybody. I don't want fighting in my chat. That is the least
Was I fighting?
thing. No, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly. You don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, so first